Good morning, students. So, in this video, we will explain about the trigonometric values. So, in my previous video, we discussed about the values of sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, sine 30 degree, cos 30 degree, sine 60 degree. So we discussed about the shortcut methods to find the values. So in this video we will explain the values, whether the value will be positive or negative. Okay. So this is x-axis. This is a 90. This is a 90 degree, and this is 180 degree, and this is 270 degree, and this is 360 degree. Okay. So 360 degree. So the values, for example, sine 30. So sine 30, in my previous video we know that the sine 30 value is equal to 1 by 2. Now this value may be positive or negative. Okay. So in the this quadrant, first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, and this is the third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. So first quadrant, this is second quadrant, this is third quadrant, this is the fourth quadrant. So in first quadrant, all the values are positive in the first quadrant. Okay, all the values are positive in the first quadrant. All the values means sine 30. For example, sine 30 we know that 1 by 2. Okay, so its value is positive plus 1 by 2. Okay, so the values in this first quadrant. So cos 30 is equal to root 3 by 2. Again, that also positive in the first quadrant. Now sine 60 degree. Sine 60 means the lies in the first quadrant less than 90 degree. So sine 60 is equal to root 3 by 2. Okay, sine 60 is equal to root 3 by 2. Again, it also lies in the first quadrant. So its value is equal to value is positive. Okay, now sine 45 is equal to 1 by root 2. Again, its value is also positive in the first quadrant. Tan 45 is equal to 1. So it is in the first quadrant. So it is also positive. Now the value of sine. So all the values in the first quadrant are positive. Whether it is sine theta, cosec theta. So all the values in the first quadrant is positive. So sine theta, cos theta, cosec theta, sec theta, cot theta, tan theta, all values are positive in the first quadrant. Now comes the second quadrant. In second quadrant, sine theta. So sine of 120 degree. So 120 degree is equal to root 3. We know that sine 120 is equal to root 3 by 2. Now whether the value is positive or negative. Okay, so for this one, it is in the second quadrant. So in the second quadrant, sine theta and its inverse. The inverse means cosec theta. Only sine theta and its inverse cosec theta is positive in the second quadrant. Remaining all values are negative in the second quadrant. For example, cos theta, cos of 120, that will be negative, and sec theta, that will be negative, tan theta, that will be negative. Any value, okay, in the second quadrant rather than sine theta and cosec theta, all are negative. Okay, so sine of 120 is equal to root 3 by 2, cosec 120 same as cosec 1 by 2 cosec 120 is equal to 1 by sine 120. That is equal to 2 by root 3. So sine theta and its inverse. So its inverse is only positive in the second quadrant. Second quadrant means greater than 90 degree and less than 180 degree. So 120, okay, 120, 150, 160, 170, 180, the values till 180 degree are all values in the second quadrant. So apart from sine theta and cosec theta is only positive in the second quadrant. Remaining values are negative in the second quadrant. Now comes the third quadrant. So third quadrant means greater than 180 degree and less than 270 degree. Okay. For example, in this third quadrant, tan theta and its inverse. So its inverse is cot theta. So tan theta and cot theta are only positive and the remaining values are negative in the third quadrant. Okay. So only tan theta and its inverse. Its inverse is cot theta are only positive and the remaining values are negative in the third quadrant. Right? So for example, tan of 210. 210 means it is greater than 180 degree and it comes in the third quadrant. So its value is 1 by root 3 and it is positive. Okay. Cot theta, cot of 210 means 1 by tan theta, again it is equal to root 3 and it is also positive in the third quadrant. Okay. Remaining all values are negative in the third quadrant. For example, sine of 210. So sine of 210 is equal to minus half. So sine theta is 210 means 180 plus 30 degrees. So it lies in the third quadrant. So in the third quadrant, only tan theta and cot theta is positive. Remaining values are negative. So sine of 210 is negative. So this is minus half. Okay, right. Now comes the fourth quadrant. In this fourth quadrant, cos theta and its opposite. Okay, cos theta and its opposite means sec theta. Cos theta and sec theta is only positive. Remaining values are negative in the fourth quadrant. Only cos theta and sec theta is positive. Remaining values are negative. For example, sine of sine 300. So sine 300 means it lies in the fourth quadrant. So fourth quadrant, the value is cos theta and sec theta is only positive. So sine 300 is equal to minus root 3 by 2. Okay. Right, sine 300 is equal to minus root 3 by 2 and cos 300 is lies in the fourth quadrant. So fourth quadrant, its value is positive. Okay, so this is the shortcut method. So this is so to remember these values, I will tell you certain shortcut methods. Okay. So again, I will tell you one more thing. Look here, this is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, and this is third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. In first quadrant, all the values are positive. Whether it is a sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosec theta, cot theta, all values are positive in the first quadrant. In the second quadrant, sine theta and its inverse. Its inverse means cosec theta. So sine 120 this value all are only positive. Okay, remaining values are negative. For example, cos theta will be negative, tan theta will be negative, cot theta will be negative. So only sin theta and cosec theta is positive in the second quadrant. Okay, in the third quadrant, tan theta and its inverse, its inverse is cot theta. Only tan theta and cot theta are positive. The remaining values are negative in the third quadrant. So sine of 210 is equal to minus half. So similar way, cosec theta will also be negative, sec theta will be negative, and cos theta will also be negative in the third quadrant. In the fourth quadrant, only cos theta and sec theta is positive. So cos theta is positive and sec theta is positive. For example, cos 300 is equal to 1 by 2. So it is a positive. Okay, now sine 300 is equal to minus of root 3 by 2. Okay, sine 300 is equal to minus of root 3 by 2. So to remember these values, I will tell you one shortcut method. Okay, shortcut method is this one. Add sugar to coffee. Add sugar to coffee. That means first quadrant all values are positive. Second quadrant that is sin theta and its inverse. Sin theta and its inverse, its inverse is a cosec theta. Only these two are positive in the second quadrant. In the third quadrant, tan theta. So tan theta and its inverse is cot theta. So tan theta and its inverse cot theta is positive in the third quadrant, and in the fourth quadrant cos theta and sec theta is positive. Cos theta is a positive and sec theta is a positive in the fourth quadrant. So add sugar to coffee. So this remember this word, add sugar to coffee. Then we can find out every values in the quadrant. Okay. So this is the shortcut method to remember the trigonometric values. In this value, you will not be confused with whether the values will be positive or whether the values will be negative. So you can there is no need to worry about the sign of the values. Okay. So we will see in the next video. Okay, thank you.